everyone! I'm here today with the fourth installment of my Lippy a Day project, and I'm trying to split these videos so that I cover around maybe 10 to 15, maybe a few more lipsticks in each video, just so they're not super duper long, which is why I have so many installments, even though as of today I have finished going through my entire collection and I'm trying to decide what to do next. So let me know if you want to see another round of Lippy a Day where I go through my lipsticks again, or if you have any other suggestions on how I could keep decluttering. I was thinking of grouping the lippies by color family, so when I try them on day after day, I can compare and contrast a little bit better to see which ones I like and which ones I would gravitate towards more. So let me know if you guys are into that idea. In today's video, I'm going to show you 15 lipsticks in my Lippy a Day challenge, and please excuse my disheveled hair. I'm actually waiting for it to dry so I can curl it, but I wanted to film a quick intro. With that being said, let's get started with the clips. Today's lippy is the Tarte LipSurgence Lip Cream in the shade Thoughtful. I've really been loving all of the jumbo lip crayons that I've been wearing lately, and wearing these in succession day after day really reminds me of how much I like this format of lip product. I always say it's one of my favorites, but I rarely ever reach for them, and I'm not sure why that is. Sometimes it's just easier to grab a lipstick, it's smaller, it's easier to pop in my purse, but wearing these just reminds me of how easy they are to apply, how nicely they go on, especially the Tarte and the Clinique ones that I've been wearing lately. This is a really pretty darker neutral shade that I think looks really nice with my skin tone. It's got a little bit of a fall vibe going on, but it is a little bit dark and gloomy today. Today's lippy is a satin lip pencil by NARS, and it's in this shade by my thumb. I can't pronounce it. This is another really pretty nude shade. I really like the color. This does have a scent to it that is a little bit unpleasant. I have a lot of other products that are older than this one. Anyway, I'm gonna see if the scent bothers me throughout the day, but I love the color. I think the color is beautiful. Today's lippy is another NARS product. This is the Velvet Gloss Lip Pencil in the shade New Lover. I ended up not being a fan of yesterday's lip product in terms of the scent. The texture was really nice and I love the color, but the scent really put me off. So every time I reapplied it, kind of scrunched up my nose. So I am going to let this one go. I am trying another NARS lip pencil today, and I gave it a whiff before I put it on, and it doesn't have the same scent, and as I was applying it I noticed no scent to this one, so maybe this one had gone off, which is odd because this one is much newer than the one that I have in New Lover. But anyway, this is also a beautiful shade. It reminds me a lot of that lip butter that I love in Peach Parfait. I have a few products that are this color, but this does have a little bit of shimmer in it. Today's lippy is by Revlon and it's in Lover's Coral. This is a really pretty shade and it feels really moisturizing and comfortable on the lips. I am going to let go of yesterday's NARS product. I wore it all day and all night because I did go out last night, and I just felt like it dried my lips out and it didn't cover my lips very evenly, so a little bit of my natural lip color would still shine through, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. I haven't worn a lipstick in a while. I've been going through my jumbo lip crayons, so I'm really eager to see how I like this shade today. Today's lippy is by BUXOM and it's in the shade Amsterdam. I really liked yesterday's Revlon lipstick, so I'm going to be hanging on to that one. I think it complemented my skin tone really well, and it was a nice bright pop of color without being too dark. It was very sheer and very wearable for work. Today's lipstick I've worn a couple of times before, and I remember really liking it. Right now, as it stands, I think the color is beautiful. It does have a tingling sensation, but it's not bothering me at all. I'm going to be wearing this Chanel lipstick today. This is in the shade Monte Carlo. This is my last sheer lippy by Chanel. I really like these, and this is probably, I would say, my favorite one. This one is a little more pigmented than the other two that I've tried in these Lippy a Day videos, and it's very comfortable on the lips. It gives me a nice flush of color without being too pigmented or too light. It is the weekend and I would normally choose a more bold shade, but we're going to play a few escape games and then we're heading for dinner with a couple of our friends. So I wanted to keep my lippy really simple and easy to apply on the go. This is the NARS Velvet Matte Lip Pencil in Cruella. I am really liking the shade, and it doesn't have any of that strange scent that my other NARS lip pencil had. I did have to fix the application because it's really hard for me to see in the little point and shoot. I used the little flip up screen, and I can't get close enough to see what I'm doing, so I didn't apply it very well, so I did have to fix that up. But now that it's all fixed up, I really like the color and the way it looks. Today's lipstick is one of my favorites. It's by Anna Sui and it's in the shade 304. This is one of the shades in my collection that I have worn quite a bit, although I do still have a lot of it remaining. It's a really pretty flush of color. It's got a hint of coral to it, but it is mostly pink. I also love the scent of it. It smells a little bit like roses. Today's lippy is the Tarte LipSurgence Lip Tint in Elite. This is such a pretty shade and it's exactly what I wanted for today. It's a very beautiful mid-tone pink, but it's still relatively sheer and very appropriate for the office. This one has a little bit more of a tingling sensation than my other Tarte LipSurgence products, but it feels really good on. Here is the Tarte LipSurgence Lip Cream in the shade Wonder. I have to say I love the Tarte lip product I wore yesterday. It was a little bit brighter than I expected, and so is this one, but I really enjoyed wearing yesterday's shade, so I'm hoping I will be good with this one as well. This is a little more pigmented and a little brighter than what I typically like to wear to work. I normally like to go much more nude or much more subdued, and this is quite a pop of color for me at work, so we'll see how it goes and how I feel throughout the day. Today's lippy is one of my favorites. It's Rebel by MAC. I'm finally coming to the end of my lipsticks. I have only a couple more bold shades, this being one of them. I really love Rebel. I haven't worn it in a very long time, but it is one of my favorites. Through this Lippy a Day challenge, I am getting more used to wearing bold colors, so I very much gravitate towards bold shades on the weekends, and if I had a smaller collection, I could totally see myself wearing this more frequently. I wanted to talk briefly about the Tarte LipSurgence I wore on Wednesday. I didn't really like that shade very much. I found it too bright and too dark for work, but not bold enough for the weekend, so I am going to be letting that one go. The other thing I didn't really like about it is that I found it very drying on the lips. I normally don't find the Tarte LipSurgence products that drying, but maybe because this was a lip cream versus a lip tint, it felt very dry on, and I just didn't want to put it on throughout the day. I just kept reapplying lip balm instead, so that one I am going to be tossing. And yesterday I worked from home. I didn't put on any makeup or any lip product. This is the Tarte LipSurgence Lip Tint in Believe. I think this lippy is really pretty, although I don't typically gravitate towards this type of color. I am okay about this shade. I think it's pretty on, but typically when I wear pinks, I either like them a little more nude and light, or I like them brighter and more vibrant, so more of a bold lippy like a MAC Impassioned or something like that. So I don't know if this has a place in my collection. I'm going to wear it today and see how I feel about it. Today's lippy is this purple shade from Maybelline. It's in Lavender Voltage. I received this lipstick in my swap with Pebbles. I've been a little bit afraid to wear it because I thought it would be outside of my comfort zone, but because I've been wearing a lot of bold lippies lately, not lately, but on the weekends, I'm much more comfortable with wearing a bold lip. I think the shade is beautiful. It is a flattering purple on my skin tone, and I'm really excited to wear this shade today. This lipstick is by Canmake. It's in the shade 01. This lipstick is a really pretty baby pink. I've only worn this with other products, like with a lip gloss on top or blended with another lipstick. So I'm wondering how I'm going to feel about it wearing it on its own and reapplying it throughout the day. This is one of the products I picked up when I was in Japan, and the texture is really nice, but I think I would like this shade a little more paired with something else. Nevertheless, I am going to wear it by itself today and see how I like it. Today's lipstick is by Urban Decay and it's in the shade Naked. I really like this nude shade. I forgot how much I liked it. I haven't worn it in a while, but when I first got it, I wore it quite a bit, and there is a little dip in it, although there is still a ton of product left, as you can see. I was surprised by how much I didn't like yesterday's Canmake lipstick. I liked the color and the texture when I first put it on in the morning, but then my lips started to feel a little bit dry. I didn't really think too much about it. I went and I got my tea and all of that, and then I went to reapply the product, and I looked in the mirror and my lips had like completely crusted over. There were patchy bits and the color just looked horrendous. Now, in the past, I have worn this lipstick a little bit, not too much, but I've always paired it with a lip gloss or another lipstick or something like that, and I think that made a huge difference. This on its own wears off terribly and it just looked horrible, and I was actually really embarrassed. So I'm saying goodbye to the Canmake lipstick. That is it for episode 4 of my Lippy a Day project. I am currently wearing my favorite lipstick from this episode, and it happens to be the Tarte LipSurgence Lip Cream in the shade Thoughtful. I don't normally gravitate towards a lot of brown shades, and this one I feel really works for me. It's probably the most brown I would go in terms of lippies. I also love the Tarte LipSurgence formulation. Most of the ones I've tried have been fantastic. This was my absolute favorite from this particular episode, but I did have a whopping 3 runner-up lippies that I wanted to mention very briefly. The first one is the NARS Velvet Matte Lip Pencil in the shade Cruella. I thought this was such a stunning red. I really loved this red. And I generally like most red lipsticks that are matte and just a classic red, but this one for some reason just really stood out. It was so pigmented and so rich in color. The other 2 lipsticks I wanted to mention briefly are both purple leaning shades. This first one here is MAC's Rebel, and I loved this one. This was probably in my top 2. If Thoughtful hadn't been in this episode, I probably would have chosen Rebel. I like it that much. And the last lipstick I want to talk about, which deserves an honorable mention, is this Maybelline lipstick in Lavender Voltage. I was stunned by how much I loved the shade. I was originally a little bit apprehensive about wearing it because it's so out there for me, and I don't typically wear shades that are so purple, but once it was on, it actually didn't look as purple as it does in the tube. I just found it a really beautiful shade, clearly purple, but it still suited my skin tone. So Lippy a Day has made me branch out a bit, and for that I am very happy because I'm so comfortable now wearing a bold lip. So that's going to be it for today. In the end, I am letting go of 6 out of 15 lipsticks, so I don't think it's too bad, but still room for improvement. We'll see how I do in the next couple of videos. I think there will be 2 more. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any suggestions for what to do next in terms of my lippies after I put out the rest of my Lippy a Day videos, please just leave that information down below. Thanks again, and I will see you next time. Until then, please take care, and bye for now.